Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome. Pre-market here at SpartanTrading.com. Wednesday morning. Welcome to those of you who are joining us with our live YouTube stream. Otherwise, welcome to our members. We do this every friggin' day, Monday through Friday, as long as this market is open. Well, yesterday was interesting, right? A little bit of, well, as Spartan likes to say, let's wait for confirmation. Some technical damage obviously was done in things. We have, with Palo Alto, and now we've got NVIDIA, right? We're going to do a little bit of a dive on the semis. It's like I said, there's so many crosswinds, and this gold is just, we need confirmation, right? And the confirmation will be 1902, unfortunately. But lots of moving parts here, and that, in its totality, it's fascinating, right? What do we got? We did have some auctions, right? 4.72, 4.915, a little bit up, right? I mean, we know that because of PPI, right? A little bit of CPI, that inflation's sticky, right? Other countries are showing us the same thing. Out of Australia, leading index was better than expected. That's nice to see. Construction work, softer, not what we want to see. Wage price index, softer, that's what we want to see. And we see here that wage price index is coming down a little bit. Now, everything is wrapped in a bow, at least for me, with we can't get that big going, or any going, as far as I'm concerned. I think twins would agree with this, unless we see something really dramatic starting to happen on the wage side and on the employment side. Do not forget, anybody who switched jobs, and a lot of people switch jobs to offset the cost of living, they got a huge bump, right, in their pay. Whereas those who did not change jobs, and this is why you saw a lot of the unions, etc., protesting, is because those who did not change jobs were negative 7%. So as inflation rips, they didn't get any offset. Really fascinating. I don't know where we go. And I don't mind telling you that, right? All right, CPI month over month, 0.9 versus, well, wow, minus 0.6, 8.3, 8.7. Now, this is the final, okay? So this North Rhine was new. Okay, this is the inflation rate finals as of, no changes. Brattenburg, this is new. Now, this is in, and this is month over month up. This is the stuff you have to look at in terms of the stickiness. And these countries are telling us what's going on, right? I mean, no duh, right? Harmonized inflation rate final as expected, yay. IFO, business climate, 91.1, a little bit above last, but lower than expectation. Hess, 8.5, higher, 1.2. I mean, ta-da. You see this by their different regions, right? That, wow, CPI 0.8 versus minus 0.4. Anything that's final that was already reported, right? But wow. Anyways, let's see what's going on with India. M3 money supply 9.5, mortgage back 6.62, pop, crackle, and snap. Minus applications continue to go down. This is this is why I think on the offset of everything we look at, right, is that Gen Z, as I was reminded, thank you so much. Why would you buy a house at these levels? I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, if it's an investment, why would you invest in a house that's, unless it's discounted mightily, right? Why so? I mean, so many of them have these student loan debts, but okay. All right. FOMC minutes. I can't imagine any surprises, But I'm getting really tired of listening to Bullet, who doesn't vote. Why didn't you talk this way last year? Bullet, who doesn't vote, being a dove, hawk dove, 50-50, one side of his mouth and the other side of his mouth. Okay, so this is like, you've got no cred with me, dude, when you go and do stuff like that. Sorry. You can't say yada, yada, but I'm a hawk, but I'm a dove as well. Wow, I don't like that. I mean, own it, one way or the other, dude. If he's getting dovish, there must be some sort of concern going on. Look, the backdrop, global backdrop, is just really notable and cautious. And there's a lot of we have never been faced in totality, right, with these set of things. Probably World War II would be the best, but then you had the manufacturing to offset guns and all that stuff. We don't have that. I mean, my brain hurts. It really hurts. But let's see what they say. I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be mind-blowingly new, informative. We'll see what the API could. I mean, the builds have been really dramatic, so we'll see. And we got William speaking. I'm so excited about that. Not really. Right? So we see Russia, bad influencers out there getting together, and yet there really is no dramatic good influencers with the United States. Usies and measies against the worldsies. It's not a good feeling. Although how the mighty have fallen. What do we got? And Baidu. Okay, so they guided lower, but it's all about that AI business right there. Whatever. So they're rolling that out. I'm hoping it's a better rollout than who. I'm just saying, that would be really nasty business. I shouldn't laugh, but I am. TJX was out as well. Palo Alto, right? Nice. Nice. Oh, treasure hunt. Thank you, son. Oh, you found it. What did you find? What is that? No, that's a quarter. Quarter. All right, say hi to everybody. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. All right, go up and have fun on your computer. I'll talk to you later, son, okay? Put it in your treasure chest, okay? Big treasure. Yes, it's a big treasure. All right. What's that? Sorry. Sorry about that. Big treasure. Yeah, put it in your treasure chest. Well, that's my life. AMC, good fun. Swap that stuff over there. It was a lot of work. So anyways, getting back. Yes, son. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good morning. Good morning, son. He's very happy today. Well, he's happy every day we do, but we'll get back to that. Anyways, let's see what's going on. So LA, Legion. So like I say, Baidu, beat, missed. But it's all about this AI business, I guess. I don't know. You know that Baidu's my top holding on the Chinese side, at least on the equity side. And then I've got this, the Golden Dragon ETF. It's just such a simpler way of doing things. That's all I have to tell you. Anyways, moving right along. Okay, what else we got? Everbridge, nice. Q, beat, missed. PGTI. Look, let's talk a little bit. Wix was really nice. Let's talk about a little bit what Home Depot and Walmart did. Okay, these analysts are getting it so wrong. The twins shouted out right away. Okay, you wouldn't be lowering expectations. Okay, this is, why not? Okay, so let's be honest. All right, you lowered your expectations and all that stuff, and what happened to your stock yesterday? I'm just asking. Just asking. It was bought up. Twin said it would book. I bought it. Why wouldn't I? And I even bought some Home Depot. look, to me, I mean, this is where I want to buy what nobody wants to buy. I've told you this multiple times. So that is my penultimate story. I did start trimming back a little bit of the TMV because we were extending. We were probably going to get a bounce. I don't know if it's going to be much, though. That's my concern. The front end should actually do better than the longer end, but inflation is a big word among industrials. There you go. Healthcare, nope. Technology, nope. Oh yeah, consumer, yep. Industrials, financials, materials, and consumer discretion. And down here, not so much. And then industrials number one. And I've discussed this with you. On some of these things, it's just expensive right now. Right? Home sales were mixed in January with regional Northwest, Northeast. Well, nobody wants to live up here. Midwest, nobody wants to live there either. West, even the South. Fed funds straight curve. Yeah, anyways, moving along. History shows stocks have more room to fall. U.S. stocks never bought before the Fed stopped hiking. Well, why do you only go back to 2000? That's what I want to know. But never is never, right? So you're talking, walking the walk and talking the talk back, since 18, whatever. Well, it's not going to be that long. Anyways, yeah, well, okay, there you go. But we live in wondrous times. Things are happening that we've never seen before. And I can't reiterate that enough. It's really notable and important to understand that construct. I'm just saying it just really is. So there's always a but for me. I'm not willing to be black and white on any of this. Even with seasonality, it doesn't matter. I'm just not going to be black and white. Because a lot of things that should have happened have not happened, right? And we have things going on that are really dramatic in certain countries because of Russia, right? I don't know. Bank of Trade, look, I don't understand, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. Okay, let's have some fun here. That's of February 21st. Okay, automobiles and leisure was the one that was up the most. Can you believe this? Okay. Healthcare down. Consumer staples flat. Energy down. Materials down. Info flat. Real estate down. Utilities down. Financials are down. And there's tech, hardware, storage, and peripherals. Those are the only two things that are up as of February 21st. I bet you didn't expect that. So one of our, ghost, who's one of my students, is also a Brit. I know we have a couple of Brits in here. Okay, so this is a big deal. He's showing us that, this is Lloyd's. We haven't heard the word loan loss provision in a long time, right? This is UK's biggest mortgage lender, said full year pre-tax profit units, and they will start a $2 billion share buyback, but they've set aside $1.5 billion over the year to cover potential defaults, compared to $1.4 billion during lockdown of 2021. I think that's actually light, to be honest. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know. Watch RELI just did a 1 for 15 stock split announced. I don't know. What do we got? Suffered their worst session of the year. So, I don't know. Russian China challenge the U.S.-led global order. Well, yeah. This is what really bothers. Well, I shouldn't say scares me. It concerns me, right? Is because people are watching what's going on inside the United States, and if you really think that the polarization that we see within Congress, within individuals, everything, right? You really think that people aren't watching? Well, the world is watching us and they don't like what they see. And as a result of that, I think we are kind of on our own island, but this is what people have wanted, right? Isolationist theory. And yet here you see China, you got the BRICS, right? And you got Russia, China. Now we got Russia saying, hey, I'm North Korea, right? And now that guy's a real wackadoo. And I don't mind saying that out loud. Okay, but that's my opinion. Okay, this guy's not, I mean, he's not playing with even half a deck or a quarter of a deck. That's a scary thing. But this is, they're seeking each other out, right? While we kind of waffle and waver. It's not, this is what concerns me, okay? And no good comes from this sort of global setup, I guess, is what I want to say. All right, 12th straight month. Yay. Trader says code allowed him to withdraw millions from a crypto exchange. I don't know how that works. Supreme Court Justice expects kept at holding Google liable for content. Duh, no duh. Look, if you believe in free speech, I understand. I don't know. Okay. Intel cuts dividend, yeah. There is no rescue for them. I declined to overrule ITC ruling on ban Apple Watch. I think that's the first time they've actually lost, right? Apple, this administration. What the? And it's up, of course, it's up, whatever. But it was, anyways. Backlash at Amazon after employees ordered back to the office. Move higher with Fed minutes behind. Palo Alto surges. Aaron Judge like O2, Core 2. Look, I actually had some Palo Alto as a swing. Not, I mean, it's up nicely. So I normally don't do that, but I didn't want to get out of it because of where it was on the technicals. So Rio Tinto as full year profit plunged on slower China demand. Okay. That's cool. I understand. It makes sense to me. Right? Microsoft Activision's deal reaches critical moment. I have no idea what this means one way or the other. I mean, I don't. I know that ATVI is getting bought up, but AI is a threat to Google and will also reshuffle Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple's markets. Okay, well, if the dude is saying that, that's something you have to pay attention to. So it looks like Baidu, well, got it done, right? AI chatbot across all its operations. I don't think they're going to have a reveal blow up like you know what. I don't, like I said, I don't know how this plays out. I really don't. But I mean, but if Microsoft own shares of, I don't know. It's about my pay grade. I don't understand these things. Canaries in the economic coal mine, Walmart, and Home Depot. You're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong. And I don't care. I'm a buyer. Right. So look what snuck in at the end of the day, friends. K-Web. I don't like it when they do this. Somebody tends to know when it's at 3:58, 3:59 in the afternoon, and it's the last couple prints on the sweep side. Just saying. Okay. Somebody always knows something. Okay, so here we are. Puts not that bad though, right? With what was happening yesterday, you would think this would be a sea of red. Well, it wasn't. So funny things happen. And like I say, this was, I didn't see it on the option side, right? So, but let's take a look here on the dirt pool side. So SPY. I don't know what to tell you. All right, who's insider buying? FIS, this used to be an amazing seasonality ticker. Amazing. Owns 32% of the company, $1.2 million. Let's see what else we got. No, DISTU, right? That's this dude, 5.45, CEO and chairman. Insider sales. Options, and this is grants, and the rest is you know what. Right? This bowls, somebody just keeps selling it, right? All right, upgrades. Nordson NDSN from KeyBank Jeffrey is a 71% stud. Alcoa City Alexander 71% stud. And Massimo 16%. Raymond James 70% stud. But this Wolf guy isn't that bad, 63%. Merck. Heavens, when was the last time we saw a Merck upgrade? Anybody? Don't hold your breath. All right, Tile, Keith, HPNC, Oxy, 70%, Evercore, flat. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. Initiations, nobody really notable. I don't know why you don't stick with it today, my friends. OABI, 3.86, 159%. Cowan, but only 58% stud. That's not a stud, that's a myth. All right, what do we got? Well, same host, right, of players, right? Nothing really new going on there. Right? Building up. All right. Stocks are moving to extremes more often, which we love here because it's all about range and volatility. And this one year rolling standard deviation is pretty damn high, as you can see right here. And this goes back to 1950. It's not your imagination. Even accounting for volatility, a good 4 months for the S&P. Yeah, we know. After most net number of 80% to 20% days in 4 months after a low. 90% up, but 6.1%. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Why? I don't know why people are so fixated. I always, scratch my head. Why are people so fixated on the indices? Because that's not where the action is, right? I mean, seriously, you got Palo Alto up, some of these things, right? I'm just saying, it's just, what can I tell you? Okay. After fewest net number of 80% to 20% days, that's kind of like, yeah. All right, so this is more important. We got a nice, okay, finally, one. Natty Gas 2, TLT 2. We finally at levels, okay, on the bonds that we can actually bounce off of. I don't know if we get much of a bounce, and obviously the VXX, you know the drill on that one, right? All right, so let's take a look at this ugly pig. Sector swing by lows to highest optimism. Volatility. All right, sector swing by lows, highest money coming out of industrials, going into financials, but not a whole hell of a lot. All right, sector swing by oversold, and then overbought, discretionary, Swiss market, industrials, technology. Bonds, LQD 1, BND 1, junk 4, high yield 4. Not a good look, right? So LQD, some of these should bounce, right? Countries ranked by lows. Okay. Israel's the lowest at 4. Turkey. Okay. Greece, Qatar, Vietnam, Portugal, and the UK is flat. Money flows, nothing, except a little bit to the United States. This is just an ugly looking thing. What do we got? Commodities. Cattle, orange juice. And here's the Canadian dollar against the US dollar. Right? Sentiment, everything's reset. Green, right? Still some stickiness on for the reset, but the 10, right? Just about reset and everything. Right? So this is a bullish setup for a bounce. All right, so this is not updating. Let's move on, my friends. Bonds. So 6.773. So the yield curve, as you can see here, is steepening a little bit. I mean, I think we're getting to the point, twins, where you actually do want to be in the front end. I'm just thinking out loud. So I did buy a little bit of the not the BSJO, but the BSJP, which is, I know you can't do it, but it's junky. But anyways, Canada, rates are down, except the UK rates are up. 2.5. Hell, look like it's going to bounce. Like I say, I think the front end looks better right now than the back end. We'll see. Well, it's stick save right here. I mean, it appears, but then it's back above it. Let's see if we can break this downtrend. It goes all the way back to October. This is monthly, so we still got a way to go on this one. Here's the 5 against the 30. Okay. Let's take a look at the 3-month 10-year. Okay, so it's holding this extension. So this was the Volcker's era. This is what I'm talking about. There is no replacement for Paul Volcker. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Google it. I'm just saying, there is no replacement for Paul Volcker. Anyways, yeah. All right, so what do we got? So we pierced this. This is a weekly. So 117.075 has to be reclaimed, and that's a false pierce. If we can hold it and break above it, hold above it by the end of the week. Okay. Let's see if it happens. I don't, look, it's Wednesday. Got a couple more days. I mean, it could be a truncated M, but we'll see what the 5 minutes. I don't think it's going to move anything, but we'll see. Chinese is a Chinese rate, so they're going to keep that. This is a flag, but they're not going to. I mean, I think we're pinned right now for many, 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 many months. I may be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Almost breaking out there. Right? Take a look at the dollar. Right, we know that it popped. Reversion to the mean, rebuffed. Now back down to the 50 EMA and the weekly. All right, this is just amazing stuff. All right. See, we obviously, the markets need the dollar to come back down, right? And here's the new one. Double top, extension. Get your popcorn ready. Cryptos. Does anybody care? 1770, never mind. Still up, right? Remarkably so. All right, so commodities, what do we got? Well, looks like 30-70, 70 down, 30 up. Gold is up. This is why I'm saying this gold should not be here right now. Should be a lot, something should be a lot lower than that. So that actually is a bullish divergence when that happens, right? All right, we got crude down 0.6, natty gas is popping a little bit. We'll see what happens with the oil. Okay, you know my narrative on this. I did trim a little bit of KOLD. Okay, I am not adding to my boil anymore. It's too large a percentage position. So the only way I take care of that is by slowly weaning off some of the KLD, but I can't really do anything until we reclaim some of the support, right? Aluminum down, cotton's up, London coffee, OJ is down, hogs are up. I mean, like I say, it's a random walk theory whack-a-mole. You just don't know where it's coming from. This is a CRB. Nobody looks at that anymore. Natty gas, let's talk. Okay, so where did we stop? I mean, there is a little bit of a pivot here. I mean, look, there's tons of support down here. Okay, but irregardless, all right, so let's take a peek at this. Okay, I mean, this thing is down 80% from peak to trough. Okay, whatever. Okay, but you know, if you're looking at the risk on the downside here, so let's look at this mathematically. Okay, price range. Mathematically, from here to here, you're talking 20%, 25%. So that's pretty robust. But if we're talking about, you know, on a bounce where we could go, it's 65%. I mean, I can't, like I say, I can't do anything right now until we start reclaiming some stuff. Right? I mean, I can't. I just can't. I mean, on the bounce, I'm looking for a reclamation of this 78.6%. So, anyways, nothing to talk about. Crude. You know, this is fascinating. So let's take a look here. For all intents and purposes, you can see, when it's all said and done, right? Multi-month sideways consolidation that started in November of 2022. This is the double bottom. This is the double tops. And we're kind of at, got it, the mid. I don't know why it's doing that, but anyways. Okay, you can see it right here, right? And the mid is right here. That's flip the coin time. All right, gold crude, let's take a peek. Gold is really holding up well, friends. I mean, look at that. Today's class is going to be on spreads. For those of you who are interested, my webinar today is spreads and why they matter to me. Gold. It's actually holding up really well if you look at the reversion to the mean. This is the bottom end. I think this holds right now. That's why I'm kind of taking off some of my hedges, and I'll put them back on if it breaks below here. Stocks. What do we got? Wow, so unimpressive. Just, I mean, so unimpressive. I'm just saying. So unimpressive. All right, so globally, everything seems to be red except China. Obviously, the 850. China 8 shares are up as well. Nifty 50 down, 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 down. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can bounce. But like I say, you know, when it's all said and done, that's pretty damn unimpressive. All right, let's take a look at the DAX. Still holding above last month's high, which is notable for me. That's the one I'm looking at right now. Okay. And if it doesn't, then I'll probably put some hedges on. Fez. Still holding up, starting to break below here, not happy with that. I think I've got to put some hedges on this one on Fez, right? EFA. Reversion to the mean, but still holding it, believe it or not. Look at the steepness of this uptrend line. That should break. I might put some, I think I might put Fez puts on as opposed to, no, that doesn't. Okay. FXI. Double bottom, here we are. It's holding for now. Pre-market broke. It's down here. Okay. K-Web. So, like I say, I was looking for low upper 20s on the K-Web. Right? I don't know. I haven't done anything yet. Right. So look at this. We got this right here. So see what happens. See QQQ pulling back. Okay, we're starting to reclaim this extension, friends. All right. I don't think it holds though. I don't think it holds. We'll see. We shall see. If it does, then obviously we have a lot of room on the upside here. And this may be more a function of the Chinese market selling off. Why? Is the VIX, reclamation falling? I don't, to be honest with you, I think this is going to be a little bit of a range right now. And actually, this is the upper right there, right? So DXN, top end should come back down. So what's really notable about these, well, these are mathematics. This is just volatility mathematics, right? For me, at least, this used to be heavily traded. Some of these leveraged these volatility indices, and they're not. You can see how it's just consolidation. Now, granted, that's a pretty damn big move, but I mean, we haven't seen anything since January, right? Look at where we are down here. So the market doesn't believe that we're in a big sell-off. That's the Reader's Digest version, right? So there you go. That's an ugly candle right now, but it's a monthly, right? You never know, right? That's a damn ugly, right? Reversion to the mean, broke below this mean. This is the 21. This is the 20 on the Bollinger. Not a good look. So we did see that fake growth value. Growth value. So they came out yesterday, right? And they said that this was the first time in a long time where managed money was behind non-managed money. I thought that was interesting. So basically just an ETF sort of thing, right? So SPY QQQ, this to me is really important, right? So here we are. Now, if we're really going to see a serious decline in the market, this is going to go higher. It's not going to go like this. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at Microsoft. We haven't looked at Microsoft in a while. Believe it or not, Microsoft on the weekly at least is still holding this uptrend line. Okay, so double top, well, not a double top really, but see what this looks like right here. Oh, that's not a good look. Anyways, so failure on the breakout, but holding this uptrend line. Okay, and that's on the weekly, that's 248.20. Dang Microsoft. Wow. So as you can see here, Microsoft has been dramatically losing. Well, let's take a look here. Let's change this a little bit. So we're going to do a box inside a box. Okay, so this is it right there. There we go. Still up a quadrant. Clearly we're not breaking up. And this is why, it's important. This is 61.8% fib, right? This is FANG, Microsoft. So Microsoft looks like it should start gaining against FANG. So here's Microsoft against Apple, right? So this is really interesting because I don't think we're going anywhere on this. Double bottom, you can see the quadruple whatever top, and then we're kind of in the mid. So this is kind of fascinating to me. Microsoft XLK. So Microsoft was outperforming XLK, now it's not. So don't forget, Microsoft and Apple are the top holdings in XLK. On the tech side, I love what we do. Microsoft SPY. Consolidator, range bound. And you can see this has been going on for quite some time.
All righty, Beth, I'm ready to pop on whatever here.
All right, guys.
All right, people. So If you guys are new to chat, make sure you click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. Let me just pop up the screen share here. There you go. So you guys new to chat, make sure you pop in that Discord link that we do send you via email. You're gonna pop into chat. It's gonna look something a little bit like this. First area to go to, guys, when you do pop in, click on that disclaimer section, give it a read, as well as go to that new to chat information section, scroll to the very top of the section. You got a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, the most important ratio in trading, in my opinion. Definitely worth going through it, understanding how it works. I wouldn't be trading, in my opinion, unless I had this set up for myself. So I think it's a good idea to go through it, understand how it works before doing anything in the market. Continue to scroll down. You have summary about this chat works, breaks down all these channels work on the left hand side. So you can probably navigate the chat for the day. Important to know to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have how to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Below this, we have the options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday. In regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc. on the options side. Continue to scroll down. Oops. You scroll down, we have the SPX rules right below that as well. We like to use every single day. Any of the small account less 10K breakdown, if you do a smaller account less 10K, here's some rules, information, discipline you can put in place so you've got a chance of managing your account. In our opinion, can help you there if you don't want to use them. Up to you. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective below that, and that just breaks down how to overlay your own criteria on top of ideas so you're left on things that do make sense. All right, pre-market tickers on watch, guys. What do we got going on today? Tesla, UTHR, CRL, PNW, Baidu, and LLAP. So Tesla gapping up and simply the market. UTHR down on earnings report for Q4. CRL, Charles River slides 10% despite Q4 beat amid supply chain woes. PNW gapping up positive earnings. Baidu gapping up on their earnings as well. $5 billion buyback, and LLAP Turin Orbital bags $2.4 billion contract to build 300 satellites for Rivada Space Networks. All right, let's take a look at these names for a technical standpoint. Intraday. So first two names we're going to be looking at today, guys, that Tesla, that UTHR. Let's rip through those charts. Tesla, there you go. A little bit of a bounce from last day, but nothing crazy. I'm going to move this away. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on here. So I'm going to get this over here. That's a little bit of a bounce. Nothing crazy though, of course, obviously. All right, let's take a look. Intraday. So you're back into the 13 EMA on the daily there, which is a obviously the trend support line. Pivot to the upside today, 196.23. This all is able to hold 201.56 to 205.84. Unable to hold, we're looking for a pullback towards 191.64 to 186.36 on the downside. Overall, on Tesla, going to be getting bullish. If we're looking for a continuation push higher today, only if that pivot point can hold. That's Tesla. Let's take a look at UTHR. So UTHR, decent little gap down there. Now it's earning report for Q4, 230. Always like these names with a lot of range. Make sure we're trading on this one. All right, that should be decent. All right, let's take a look at the signature day here. So pivot to the downside today on this one is going to be 233.63 in my opinion. This all was able to hold 238.43, 242.68. Unable to hold, we're looking for a pullback towards 230.04 support, 224.94 on the downside. Overall, on UTHR, in my opinion, I'm going to be leaning on the bearish neutral side today, looking for a little bit of a bounce up the gate and then a rollover. All right, so that's Tesla, that's UTHR. Let's take a look at the next two. CRL and PNW. CRL, another name gap and down, like that UTHR 219. What a big move actually to the downside. All right, let's take a look at the signature day here. So pivot to the downside today, in my opinion, will be the 220.08. Level is able to be reclaimed, 225.19. 227.85, the resistance I have to the upside. Unable to hold to 15.04 to 210.56 on the downside. I'm going to be leaning bullish on that CRL, looking for a pop, topping to take shorts. Maybe gets continuation lower on this one as well. All right, PNW, which I absolutely love this chart. I'm pumped about it. Beautiful gap up. Not surprised though. We've seen some really nice movements on these cloud-based names on earnings. $181.73 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 186.33 to 190.15. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 179.23. That level breaks 175.94 on the downside. Overall on PNW, leaning bullish. Neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. I want to see it continue to grind higher on this name. Love the daily chart. I think you get into the 190 area, and I think that that range will be tested, and we'll see if we can break through it today. That's CRL. It's PNW. All right, next two guys, we got the Baidu, and we got the LLAP. Baidu not bad on earnings. Most things are labeled there. Let's see. Some upper resistance level, head and shoulders, and then right there. Pretty big reversal off the lows on the daily chart. Pivot to the upside today, 148.69, my opinion. Level holds 151.75, 155.04. Unable to hold 147.03 to 145.06 on the downside. Overall, in Baidu, going to be leaning bullish, neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point is able to hold. That's Baidu. Let's take a look at LLAP. At 295 pivot to the upside today, level holds 342, 382. Unable to hold, look for pullback towards 250, or sorry, 249 to 213 on the downside. Overall on LLAP, going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side today if that pivot point is able to hold. All right, so that's SPY. I'm sure those are individual names. Let's take a look at the SPY and FANG here. Screenshot these two. There we go. 468 pips to the upside today. Level holds 403.09, 405.70. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback on the SPY to 398.41, 395.52. Right now, it's just retesting that 50 MA on the daily to the upside. If it's unable to hold, I think we're going to pull down to that 395 level. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to be leaning on the bearish neutral side today. I think it does need to retest the uptrend on the daily, which is right around this area, around that 395. So that's what I'd be looking for, in my opinion. So that's a SPY, going to be leaning bearish neutral on that name. Unless pivots reclaimed, of course. Let's take a look at Apple. It's my opinion, of course, as well. Let's take a look at Apple. Let's do this. This makes it a lot easier to see what things going on in the daily charts. All right, guys. Apple. So obviously, you can see that pulled through an EMA support on the daily here, right into that range flag at 147.63 area. Right now, pivot 148.43 to the upside, in my opinion. Level holds 149.71, 150.99 on the upside. Unable to hold 147.38, 146.50. I'm leaning bullish neutral on Amazon or Apple. If it can hold above this pivot point this morning, I think we can get a decent little bounce, and then we can see whether or not it holds up. Another thing about the SPY weekly chart, guys, is you did pull into a whole bunch of well, you have EMA support on the weekly chart is what I should say. So not just the daily matters, of course, you got to look at the bigger time frames as well. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon 94.17 pivot. Levels able to be reclaimed towards 97.02, 101.32, unable to hold 90.82 on the downside to 88.82. Overall on Amazon, I'm leaning on the bearish neutral side today, looking for continuation lower. Chart still looks pretty ugly. Yes, it's a little extended to the downside, but I think it's got room to retest these bottom end ranges here. Just from a technical perspective, it looks like it continue to roll over. That's Amazon. Let's take a look at Netflix. $336.93 pivot to the downside today. Levels able to hold 342.05 to 347.12 will be tested. Unable to hold, we look for pullback to 331. 81. I'm actually going to label that pivot as well. 330. Or not the pivot, the 50 MA. Obviously, it matters a ton. That's fine. 333.29. Overall on Netflix, I'm going to be leaning bullish neutral. I'm going to be looking for a little bit of a pull into that 50-minute bounce, in my opinion, today. So a really good job of holding up. Uptrend still intact. It's kind of just coming into that uptrend area. And I think it's going to hold. And then, of course, you get the 50 MA right here too. So go to Meta. Meta's been acting okay. Not as bearish as the other names in the pullback. Obviously, big flag on the daily setup there. 171.38 pivot, levels able to hold 175.63, 178.27. I need to hold 168.75, 165.13 below that. Overall on Meta, going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side today, looking for a continuation push higher if that pivot point is able to hold. In my opinion, of course. So that is Meta. Let's take a look at last but not least, Google. All right, Google here, guys. All right, Google pivot to the upside today, 91.66. Sorry, downside, 91.66 downside. Unable to hold 90.30, 88.43. Able to hold 93.14 to 95.28. Like Amazon, I'm going to be leaning bearish, looking for continuation lower. Very similar chart. Google's actually a little bit uglier though. All right, so that's Google. So let's take a quick look at the VIX. Just rip through these as well. Obviously, the VIX on the daily, as of yesterday, a little extended. 2357 pivot levels able to hold. Towards 2480, unable to hold. 2250, 2123 downside, not leaning any particular direction, but I like to look at where the levels are in VIX because it does help with navigating the SPY. You know, leads a lot of the times. Let's take a look at the Qs. $294.78 pivot levels able to hold 298.42, 230.409, unable to hold 288.23 on the downside will be tested overall on the QQQ. Going to be leading on the bearish neutral side as well. It is a little extended to the downside more than the SPY, but it has more room to the 50 MA. So that's that. Let's take a look at the SPX. So SPX, like obviously the SPY, is very similar as always. 40.11.29 pivot to the downside today. This level is able to be reclaimed. 40.28, 40.47 on the upside, in my opinion. Unable to hold 39.98, sorry, to 39.82 down the downside. And overall on the SPX, I'm leaning right now bearish neutral if that pivot point can't be reclaimed. 4.11, 40.11, I should say, aka the 50 MA on the daily. So that's the thing. Those are the individual names we're looking at today, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to South Beach while I type up that pre-market action plan. Then we'll do a quick little recap before the open. South Beach, if for she's all yours for now, my man.
Morning, guys. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, futures up a little bit after yesterday. We got the 10-year at 394, so really no effect by Bullard's little chat this morning. 2 years basically the same, also down 0.02. And what do we have? 32. Where's that spread? 675. Okay, so it's down from the 80s that we were seeing, right? So it's down to 75. What else do we have? Yields are up in London, only barely 0.02. Their yield is 363. They have that small inversion that we've been talking about, 30 basis points more or less. Bonds are pretty flat in Italy, France, Germany, etc. Okay. And I think you're going to see a lot of volatility in Japan, believe it or not, as soon as the new guy comes in. Other than that, let's look at commodities. We have oil down a little more today. Remember, we have the U.S. as a buyer at 70. They're continuing to tap the strategic oil reserve, and we got 76 on that. Natural gas, I saw it this morning break too, back above 2 slightly. It shocks the shit out of me every time I look at it. I don't know what to say. Gold up a little bit. That probably means the dollar's a little stronger. Copper's in the trading range, has been for a while, upper end of that range. And all these commodities are kind of trading in their own little world, which is what you would see in normal times, right? Lumber, because of the Fed, is on the balls of its ass. Certain other things are doing well based on whatever factor it is, like OJ was hot because, ran because of weather and so on and so forth, the typical stuff you would see. All right. But I think basically the world has learned to cope with this Russia, Ukraine thing. And so commodities have calmed down quite a bit. Currency wise, dollars down against North America, down against the yen, up against the Chinese currency, up against the euro, and up against the pound. Not a whole lot of volatility there. Crypto 1.5% on Ethereum down, 1.5% on Bitcoin down, and 7% on Solana down. Who gives a shit? And the last but not least, let's look at the foreign markets. FTSE's down 0.5%. DAX was down more. Now it's almost flat. Okay. And over in Asia, we had the Nikkei down 1.5%, and all the Chinese markets, Hong Kong, China, down 0.5%. So that's your backdrop. All right. We had what's his face? Buller on TV this morning. You know, I'm a big proponent of not letting these guys speak. I think it's just completely unnecessary. I think the Fed should speak with one voice, not all these clowns that come out. But nevertheless, that's the way they do it. So we have two clowns today. We had Bullard this morning. He's the big hawk, right? Along with Mester. And basically, he's saying that he would have voted for a 50-point raise on, what was it, February 1st? And Mester said the same thing. So we're getting the Fed minutes today at 2 o'clock. And we already know that two of the guys are going to be dissenting from the overall view of the 25 basis points that they did raise. And so we're going to see, okay, you know, when you get the minutes, you see how solidified the Fed was. And the answer to that question is not so. Not so solidified. So he thinks we should raise the rate to what did he say? 5.4 is his top rate. Okay. And we should get there fast and then wait and see. All right. This is what he's saying. I'll watch the bond market. But look, the truth of the matter is, guys, when you have the bond market, when you have the 10-year trading at 4% more or less, and you have the 1 year and the 6 month and the 2 year trading at 5% more or less, the average guy is going to say, I don't need stocks. I don't need equities. If I can get 5% risk free, what's so bad? And so stocks will be challenged for the foreseeable future as to where people want to put their money. Okay, the bond market has clearly exemplified themselves as a rational decision, whereas in the past it was a one-stop pony show. You know, you only could play equities. That is clearly no longer the case, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. All right, whether you think rates are going a little higher or a little lower or whatever the case may be, it's certainly an investment choice. Okay, so that's the story. And so we have one other guy speaking, and that's that. China and Russia are meeting. They want to strengthen ties. So these two countries are really, you know, getting joined at the hip. China needs them desperately because they have no energy. All right, so they have no choice. All right, they have to chum up to whoever can give them energy, whether they like it or not. And the truth of the matter is they're the biggest importer of food. So the truth of the matter is I don't think China and Russia together mean diddly dick, except for their war machine. All right, they don't have food, and they don't have, you know, and they don't have enough energy. So we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, Russia is doing its thing. Biden's been in Poland, you know, giving his speeches about, you know, Ukraine will win and so on and so forth. And we're going to, you know, continue the commitment, NATO, et cetera, sticks together. That whole narrative he's been doing, which has been, I think he's doing a pretty exemplary job on that front, to be honest. So that's Russia, that's Poland, China, same thing. So China now is urging firms to drop the big four auditors because of privacy concerns. Okay. I don't know. You know what? So I think that's if you're a shareholder in a firm and you don't know what's what, why the hell do you need to own these stocks? Okay, if they're not going to use U.S. accounting or standards, okay, or not U.S., really global accounting standards, I think they're uninvestable. But you do what you want, okay? For me, I have no interest in these names, except on a trading basis, okay? So it's okay to stick a guy into Taiwan's, what is it, ASML and steal the secrets, but it's not okay to have our auditors look at their books. Okay. No China for this guy. So that's China, that's Russia, crypto we discussed. Mr. Market yesterday was a wholesale sale. Okay, so we came in and finally the market said, oh shit, interest rates are 4%. All right, they've been watching him steadily go up and finally they said, oh my God. All right, so they hit everything, the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, everything else. There were big programs, okay? Guys buying bonds and selling stocks. I think that continues. I don't think that's a one-shot deal. All right, so I'd be on guard for that for sure. So what gets hit the worst when interest rates go up? The stocks that are highest in the highest PE ratios. That's the way it works. Okay, so rates go up, high PE. So what got hit? High PE tech, FANGs, semis, HMOs, machinery. Everything got hit yesterday, but the hardest hit were probably the highest PE stocks. What else do we have? So that's what's working. Well, it seems as though it's changing. What was working with the stocks that had the biggest short interest that were left behind. Now I think we're in a transition period to find new leadership, whether it's on the downside or the upside, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, I think right now it's unclear what's going to be working based upon a lot of factors, but I think that old narrative, these cheap stocks that people use for tax selling and all that, I think that whole scenario is played out. So we'll see what goes on moving forward. Russia, got out of the nuclear arms treaty talks. Biden and Poland's Jeremy Siegel would not be surprised if we had a 50 basis point increase this time around. Okay, so the next Fed meeting. Amazon has, they have this new rule. They want 3 days back at work, and people are screaming and yelling. That's been hitting the papers today. Norfolk and Southern says that, they had that explosion in East Palestine, Ohio. They said they're committed to that city and making it back to normal. Starbucks is got some new coffee drink. They said is the most transformative thing they've done in a decade. Some kind of olive oil in your coffee. I don't know. All I heard was it adds 120 calories to the cup of coffee. When I heard that, I had no interest. Kolonovic sees 5% more down. Bob Dole from BlackRock or ex-BlackRock sees 17% more down. I thought Kolonovic would have thought further downside, but he used that 5% number last night, which really at the end of the day is nothing. So if you're waiting for 5% to do something on the long side, you're crazy because it may never come. McKinsey, they laid off 2,000 staff workers. You don't see that very often. New Zealand put in a 50 basis point increase to their rates. Now they're at 475. They see them going even higher. And there's some kind of winter storm I heard in the Midwest, and a bunch of flights have been canceled, 900 so far. Okay. But I do think you see programs, as long as rates stay here, I think programs will be in the offing. So we got to be careful about that. All right. As far as individual names, we had Wingstop, which has been incredible. That's up. Coin numbers came in. The stock's basically flat. The numbers weren't bad, but their volumes were kind of crummy. PANW, which is in the right space, is having a good one. STLA, a car manufacturer, was up. CHK, Toll Brothers was decent. That's up a deuce. Baidu was good. That's up 10. FVRR, Wix, GLBE, VRT, BRY, Lazy Boy, and BTLE. LLAP got a big contract to build satellites, 2.4 billion. I think they get a piece of that. I don't think they get the whole thing, but Momentum, CYRN, and SRNE. I still am long SRNE. One ONEM is up. The FTC is expected to approve the merger with Amazon. INDT got a takeover offer of $67 a share, and BBVY made a delayed interest payment. Stock doesn't even move on that. On the short side, we had the CSGP and ZIP. We had CRMT and TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx still down. Retail's having a rough time, okay? So the consumer may be taking it down a notch. CRL was crummy. Charles River Labs down a bunch. UTHR down a bunch. Keys, Overstock, MED, AU, Gill, STAA, Matador Resources, MTDR, NHI, and Halo. Intel lowered their dividend from 36.5 cents to 12.5 cents. I think that's quarterly, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Quarterly? So their yield will go from what, about 5.5 to under 2, if my math is right. So I think a lot of widows and orphans are probably going to be selling Intel. What's the point? You better off buying bonds with that piece of garbage. So that's that. Research-wise, let's see what we have. DraftKings got another little bump at Morgan Stanley. They have a target of 22. Splunk got a bump from Bank of America. They target raised from 110 to 125. APLS, Raymond James likes this one, but they're doing a secondary, so be careful. It's maybe coming tonight for tomorrow, or Wednesday for Thursday. I think tonight. Oxy, sell at Evercore. They're talking about this redemption of preferred shares. Got to be careful with. I have to look into this because this is really my wheelhouse. I love when they knock stocks down for some innocuous thing and then they can rally back to where they are. Okay, so I have to look into this one. LGIH was downgraded to sell. Tesla, Tony Sacconaghi, I'm never right, still hates the stock. Who cares? The guy is the worst. AA got an upgrade from Citibank. Caesars got 2 more people who bumped up targets. They had 2 yesterday as well. CZR kind. That was really it. Everybody else is adjusting. PAMW and EXAS, their time, their targets. That's a bunch of BS for the most part. Okay, so that's that. Earnings wise, guys, we have a lot of names tonight. Okay, NVIDIA, Teladoc, Lucid. I'm going to be looking at maybe doing a couple of butterflies in some of these names, kind of trying to guess where they're going to go. And if I can do them cheap enough, I'll do them. Etsy, letter U, MOS, this Bros, Apache, eBay, PXD, Lemonade, NTAP, VAC, tomorrow, Baba, Moderna, Domino's, BBWI, Planet Hollywood, Newmont, Yeti, W, AMT, BHC. So this is the big week as far as the number of things that have earnings, not the highest valuation names, although there's a bunch of them in this list, but just a boatload of names. So you've got to be sure to check things, okay? So my narrative today is I think this seller is back, 50-something, Willie. It doesn't change that drastically, but let me tell you exactly. Minus 54. I think the seller, the program guys come back. That's what I think. We'll see if it happens or not. If it does, generally that's wholesale selling, okay? Meaning they're, dumping S&P and buying bonds. So, they're not very group sensitive. It's an S&P kind of thing in general. We'll see if they show up. If they do, we'll probably know, by 10:30. And I think that's what'll decide what happens today, more or less, more than anything else. Okay, so that's what I'm waiting for. If the market looks crummy, okay, I'm going to look at these consumer non-durables and drug stocks. If the market looks good, I'll probably look at those on the short side. I think that's been the really good trade that I've been doing. Okay, whatever the market looks, I'll trade those names from the opposite side. All right, contra trend kind of names. All right, and that's really it. We'll see how the market goes. I think we'll see. The program thing is what I'm waiting for. And Spartan, it's all for you.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Morning, what's going on? So a couple different things. If you guys are new to chat, have already done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You pop it in chat, it's gonna look something a little bit like this. First area to go to, guys, when you come in, disclaimer section, click on that, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section, scrolls at the top. Top of the section, you got a link to the disclaimer as well as this bolded risk reward section, both super important stuff. Go through both, understand how risk reward works, in my opinion, before you start trading. I think it's a great idea. Why? Because it's just mathematics. Continue to scroll down. Summary of how this chart works, breaks all down on all these channels work on the left-hand side, so you can properly navigate the chart of the day. That's important to know to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have how to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Continue to scroll down. Options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. SPX rules that we use every single day right below this. Definitely give that a watch as well. Any of the small account less than 10K breaking down. If you do a smaller account less than 10K, here's some rules, information, discipline we can put in place. You can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective below that. And then last but not least, actually that's it. That is last but not least. All right, pre-market tickers on watch. Let's take a look what we got going on today, guys. Everything's posted, so if you're watching the YouTube stream, you can certainly just pause it, give it a read. There you go. There you go. There you go. All the charts are posted, as you can see. And then last but not least, options section. There you go. Take a look at that. Cool. All right. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today? So a couple different things we're looking at. Tesla, UTHR, CRL, PNW, Baidu, LLAP. Tesla gapping up to the market. UTHR gapping down on earnings report for Q4. CRL, Charles River slides 10% despite Q4 beat amid supply chain woes. PNW gapping up on positive earnings. Beautiful move. Baidu EPS 221 beat $2 estimate on revs. Rev beat 4.8 versus 4.65, $5 million buyback, gapping up. Then LLAP, they did got a $2.4 billion contract to build 300 satellites. Stocks gapping up nicely on that. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two we're looking at today, guys. Gonna be that Tesla, gonna be that UTHR. So let's take a look. Both Tesla guys gapping up. 196.23 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 201.56, 205.84. Unable to hold 191.64 to 186.36 will be tested on the downside. Overall on Tesla, going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side today if that pivot point's able to hold. UTHR pivot 233.63, unable to hold 230.04, 224.94. Able to hold 238.43 to 242.68 on the upside. Unable to hold. Leaning bearish neutral on UTHR, looking for the pivot unable to hold on a curl to the downside there. Let's take a look at CRL. Let's take a look at PANW. CRL pivot to the downside today is going to be in my opinion, 220.08 levels unable to hold 215.04, 210.56 able to hold 225.19, 227.85. I'm leaning bearish, looking for continuation lower if that pivot's unable to hold today. PANW, love this name to the upside, lovely luck. 181.73 in my opinion, of course. 181.73 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 186.33 to 190.15. Unable to hold 179.22 or 23. Sorry, 175.94 on the downside. Overall on PAW leaning bullish. We're looking for a continuation push to the upside today if the pivot point's able to hold. Let's take a look at Baidu and LLAP. Baidu pivot 148.69 level holds 151.75 to 155.04. Unable to hold 147.03 to 145.06. Any bullshit there. LLAP 295 pivot level holds 342, 382. Unable to hold 249, 213 downside. Any bullshit on that name as well. All right, let's take a look at the spine of the fang here, guys. All right. SPY guys pivot to the I'm gonna type this up as I usually do in the SPX section. Okay. SPY 468 pivot to the downside today, in my opinion. This level is unable to hold. From lower into the 398.41 support. Breaks, you see the 395.92 tested. Pivot able to hold. From higher into the 403.09 resistance. Breaks, you see the 405.70 tested. Any bearish? Neutral on that. So that's gonna be the SPY. Let's take a look at the rest of the thing here. So the thing in general, I should say. All right, Apple guys, pivot 148.43 level holds 149.71, 150.99, unable to hold 147.38 to 146.50 on the downside. Overall on Apple, gonna be leading on the bullish side today if that pivot point is able to hold. Let's take a look at Amazon. Pivot to the downside today, in my opinion, will be 194.17, unable to hold. We got room for continuation lower to 90.82, 88.92. Able to hold 97.02, 101.32 on the upside. Overall on Amazon, I'm leaning on the bearish neutral side today, looking for continuation lower if that pivot point is unable to hold as well. All right, let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix pivots to the upside today. 336.93 levels, able to hold 342.05, 347.12. Unable to hold 333.29 to 331.81 on the downside. Overall on Netflix, going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side today, looking for a bounce off that 50 MA. 50 MA is around 333.29, guys. So I'll be looking for a pull down there, and then I'll look for a bounce. In my opinion, I think that's the way I would want to play it. Meta 171.38 pivot to the upside today. Levels able to hold 175.63, 178.27 in my opinion. Unable to hold 168.75 and 165.13. Leaning on the bullish neutral side today, in my opinion, on that. So let's take a look at Google. Google pivot to the downside today, guys, is going to be 91.66. Unable to hold 90.30, 88.43. Able to hold 93.14 and 95.28 on the upside. Overall on Google, going to be leaning on the bearish side today, in my opinion, looking for continuation lower. So that's that. Let's take a look at the SPY and FANG. SPY and FANG, certainly the VIX, Qs and IWM. VIX guys, pivot is 23.57. Levels able to hold 24.82, unable to hold 22.50, 21.23. Not leaning in any particular direction on that. QQQ pivot to the upside or downside today, in my opinion, 294.78. Unable to hold 288.23, able to hold 298.42, 304.09. I'm leaning bearish on that. And the last but not least, guys, SPX. Let's take a look at this. 4,011 pivot to the downside today, in my opinion. Unable to hold 39.98, 39.82, able to hold 40.28, 40.47 on the upside, and I'm leaning on the bearish side today. So that is the SPY, that is the FANG. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today, guys. Want to come trade with us, you can certainly do so. Go to SpartanTrading.com. You can sign up there. We stream every single day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. as you guys know. And yeah, a lot of fun and chat.